Welcome to 50 Photos, where every picture tells a forgotten story. If you love history, like this video and subscribe.
A Japanese soldier who continued to fight for 28 years after the end of World War II was unaware of his country's surrender. His story is a paradox and tragedy of war, illustrating how long conflict can persist. Amid the anxious atmosphere of Tokyo in 1945, Japanese children bid farewell to their families before evacuation. They leave the city in search of safety, their faces etched with involuntary fear and hope for a better future. Elvis Presley, the rock and roll star, spends his last days in the U.S. Army in Germany in 1960. He is preparing for his return home, leaving behind military service that had become an important part of his life. A black woman sits in a whites-only carriage in protest against apartheid in South Africa, 1952. This act of bravery became a symbol of the struggle for equality and justice in the country. In 1973, surgical interns in the USA closely observe a coronary artery bypass surgery. This moment reflects the importance of training and skill in medicine, where every detail can save a life. In this photo, hippies are relaxing on the porch of an abandoned farmhouse in the USA in 1968. They occupied this place for several weeks, symbolizing the spirit of freedom and protest against established societal norms. The rehearsal of an amateur military theater was unexpectedly interrupted when the actors began preparing their weapons for firing. This reflects the atmosphere of the time, when war touched all aspects of life, including art. The 136-ton transport flying boat Hughes H-4 Hercules, built from birch plywood during its creation at the factory in Culver City, became a symbol of engineering progress and ambitious projects of the post-war era. "19-year-old André Gigant, surrounded by 10 beauties on the streets of Paris, 1966. This photo reflects the spirit of freedom and experimentation that characterized the fashion and cultural life of the city in the 1960s. In Cardiff in 1935, a humorous dialogue unfolds between a truck driver and a compact car. "Don't get underfoot or I'll run you over." Such exchanges were typical of those years when roads were becoming increasingly congested. Australian fighters involved in the Battle of Gallipoli in 1916 faced an unusual opponent, a captured Turkish sniper. Camouflaged as a cannabis bush, he became a symbol of cunning and resilience under the harsh conditions of war. Australian military engineers mislead the enemy in 1918 by maneuvering a tank mock-up before storming the Hindenburg Line. This trick played a key role in their operation on the front. The Studebaker car is currently in repair at a San Francisco garage. In 1919, these vehicles were often seen on the streets of the city, symbolizing progress and change in the transportation sector. A merchant's car, completely adorned with a variety of trinkets, attracts the attention of passers-by in the Netherlands in 1934. This unusual vehicle became a real treasure for lovers of antiques and rare items. Alfred Dunhill, selling pipes on the street in 1944, stands before the ruins of his shop in London, symbolizing the impact of war on business and people's lives. American girls training in welding at a vocational school in Florida immersed themselves in a world of new technologies and professions in 1942, showcasing their desire for independence and growth amidst the challenges of war. American medics in gas masks are undergoing training at Fort J. Against the backdrop of New York skyscrapers in 1941, a scene unfolds filled with tension and anticipation, symbolizing the country's readiness for potential threats. American soldiers from the military police are toasting bread for breakfast in the fiery lava of Mount Vesuvius, Italy in 1944. The eruption that began on March 18th would become the last of the 20th century, and now Vesuvius is asleep, forcing Italians to rely on electric toasters. American soldiers in 1945 pushed a vehicle carrying severely wounded German soldiers, illustrating the complex moral choices that had to be made in wartime conditions. American soldiers pose against the backdrop of a mushroom cloud from a nuclear explosion in Nevada, USA, 1952. They pretend to touch the cloud, demonstrating both the absurdity of war and the naivety of youth in that era.
Before we continue, I'd like to give you a recommendation. Our team has created a tool for restoring old photos in poor condition, those with scratches, tears, blurriness, or low resolution. With Restory.online, simply upload an image to improve its quality, restore lost details, and breathe new life into it using the latest technology. The interface is simple, processing takes very little time, and the results can sometimes reveal details that were almost invisible in the original photo. If you want to restore your own memories or bring old family photos back to life, visit Restory.online. Link in the description. Now, back to our story.
The American satellite Telstar, launched in 1962, became the first in the world to transmit a transatlantic television signal. This event ushered in a new era in communication technologies and transformed the world of television. The arrest of Mormon polygamists occurred in 1887 after the Edmunds-Tucker Act was enacted, threatening property confiscation and deprivation of civil rights. In 1890, they renounced polygamy after a new revelation. For sale in Buckinghamshire, England in 1946 were military vehicles, trucks, and motorcycles that reflected the post-war era and the need for reconstruction. At an art performance in the USA in 1975, spectators witness a shocking spectacle. A car crashes at high speed into a wall of burning televisions, provoking intense emotions and discussions about the boundaries of art and destruction. Arsenal supporters assembled to board a train heading to the FA Cup semi-final in Huddersfield. This match became a significant milestone for the club and its dedicated fans who follow the team everywhere. A British pilot lands a Kitty Hawk fighter in the Libyan desert during a sandstorm in 1942. A mechanic, sitting on the wing of the plane, points him in the right direction, emphasizing teamwork and courage. A Civil War veteran shares his military stories with teenagers working as boot cleaners in Pennsylvania, 1935. He imparts his experiences and memories of the past, inspiring the younger generation. In 1957, a nuclear explosion is observed from Las Vegas, occurring in the Nevada desert, symbolizing the dangerous experiments and technological progress that have left a profound mark on the history of humanity. A piper of the Scottish Infantry Division leads a column advancing in Normandy, 1944. His melody inspires the soldiers, giving them strength during the difficult moments of battle. At the Heinz factory in Pennsylvania, a lady is responsible for the bottling of ketchup in 1897. This process became a symbol of mass production and the changes in the food industry that occurred at the end of the 19th century. In 1933, a demonstration took place in New York, where people demanded the repeal of Prohibition. This moment became significant in the country's history, reflecting changes in public opinion and the struggle for personal freedoms. Children in a music store, Netherlands, 1957. They are trying on headphones for the first time and listening to music, which becomes a true revelation for them and marks the beginning of a new era in the perception of sound art. Iron-Eyed Cody, the most famous Indian in the world, is actually Italian and conducts a ceremony for Jimmy Carter to be initiated as an Indian in the USA, 1974. This unique moment became a symbol of cultural exchange and friendship. In this photograph, women are working at a military factory in France in 1915, filling shells with shrapnel. Their work was vital for supporting the army during World War I. Live samples of the measles virus are stored in a viral laboratory of Pfizer in the USA. This photo was taken in 1963, when the measles virus posed a serious threat to public health. Journalist Raymond Walker runs across a bridge to France, saving a child from the horrors of the Spanish Civil War in 1936. This brave act became a symbol of human kindness and courage in difficult times. In the United Kingdom in 1900, students engage in physical exercises in the schoolyard. This moment emphasizes the importance of physical activity in education and the development of a healthy lifestyle. The barricades captured by the army of the Paris Communards on Voltaire Street became a symbol of the struggle for the rights of the working class and the pursuit of social justice, leaving a mark on the history of France. American soldiers showed ingenuity by assembling an improvised Beetle car from fighter plane parts on Iwo Jima in 1945. This demonstrates creativity and adaptability in wartime conditions. Wounded veterans of the Korean War received treatment at Walter Reed Hospital in the USA in 1950. This image serves as a reminder of the sacrifices of war and the significance of caring for injured soldiers. The Italian team showcases its skills at the Winter Olympics in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, where athletes fought for medals and glory in 1936. This moment captured the atmosphere of competition and the spirit of unity. The TBF-1 Bombay camera captured the moment a bomb was dropped over the Pasig River in downtown Manila, Philippines in 1944, showcasing the horrors of war. During the Gulf War in 1991, Canadian workers halted the flow of oil from one of the Kuwaiti wells, which was an important step in protecting the environment. The Kent Bicycle Battalion, dubbed the Cavalry of the New Generation, participates in a parade in 1915. Despite their ambitious names, their capabilities in trench warfare turned out to be limited. Chinese soldiers on the Great Wall of China, Lai Yuan, 1938. After the Japanese invasion of China, the Communists and the Kuomintang temporarily united against a common enemy, but their disagreements remained. In the photo are fighters of the 8th Army of the PLA, subordinate to the Communist Party. British naval ships are anchored in the Firth of Forth, 1918. This photo, taken from a naval airship, captured the power and grandeur of the Navy in peacetime. A Red Army soldier and his loyal dog return home after completing a mission in Budapest. This 1945 photograph embodies loyalty and friendship, which were especially important during the harsh times of war. The Cologne Cathedral remains the only building that survived the devastating bombings of Cologne in 1944, when the city faced brutal attacks during World War II. In the Netherlands in 1963, after the tide receded, an icy table formed on the coast. This natural phenomenon became a spectacle that attracted the attention of locals and tourists, highlighting the beauty of nature. In 1967, a lieutenant of the American Army shoots a flaming arrow at a bamboo hut where Viet Cong are hiding. This moment underscores the horrors of the Vietnam War and the courage of soldiers acting in dangerous conditions. A small boy in a German helmet stands in front of wrecked tanks in Egypt, 1954. This image symbolizes the lost childhood innocence amid the chaos of war and destruction. Boys in the Street enact a scene of a traffic accident with toy cars and a tricycle, Netherlands, 1935. Their imagination creates a world full of adventures and fun. The youth fascist organization Balilla in Italy, existing from 1926 to 1937, was an equivalent of the Hitler Youth and played an important role in shaping the ideology of the younger generation. The monks of the Asakusa Temple in Japan in 1936 were hastily preparing for the Sino-Japanese War. This period became a time of instability and conflict in the region, requiring them to mobilize their efforts. The Indian motorcycle, used during World War I, became an essential means of transporting the wounded on the Western Front. This vehicle helped save countless lives amidst the horrors of war in 1914. In 1946, the German audience laughs at how Charlie Chaplin parodies Hitler in the film The Great Dictator. This film became an important statement against totalitarianism and war, raising questions of morality and humanity. German soldiers, surrounded by the chaos of war, found time to play with a stray kitten in 1943. reminding us of humanity even in the toughest of times. German soldiers in 1916 help a Frenchman stuck in the mud of Verdun. This moment demonstrates that even in wartime, humanity and mutual assistance remain important values. In this photograph, a German soldier cares for an injured Russian girl, showcasing the tragic realities of World War II. This moment from 1941 serves as a reminder of the human side of conflict, where even enemies can find themselves in the same boat. Summer days of 1961 in the Netherlands. Holidaymakers sunbathe using a foldable reflector to maximize sunlight and enjoy the warmth while the world around them continues its life. Waiters at a carnival party in a Bavarian tavern, Germany, 1933. The atmosphere is filled with joy and laughter as people enjoy the festivities, while the waiters hurry to serve everyone delicious food and drinks. In the photo, Pope John Paul II is seen after the assassination attempt in the Vatican in 1981. There were allegations of involvement by Soviet special services in this terrorist act, which caused a wide resonance. Pope Paul VI observes the Apollo 11 landing module on the Moon through a telescope in 1969. This historic moment became a symbol of humanity's drive for space exploration and scientific achievements. A passenger train, overcrowded with refugees, departs from a devastated station in post-war Berlin in 1945. This image reflects the suffering and hopes of people seeking a new beginning after the war. The staff of Morgan's butcher shop on the streets of Waterford, Ireland, 1916. The display showcases pig carcasses, attracting the attention of customers and creating an atmosphere of a traditional market. A cart used as a school bus with a stove for winter, North Dakota, 1941. This is a testament to the hardships faced by families in rural areas, ensuring education for their children. The fires in Washington in 1968 were a consequence of riots and demonstrations following the assassination of Martin Luther King. The city was engulfed in unrest as people took to the streets protesting against violence and racial injustice. Photographers from the police department are taking a picture of a corpse before the autopsy for identification purposes. This image, taken in France in 1887, reflects the crime investigation methods of that era. Shortly before the end of World War I, in 1918, passers-by in Philadelphia study a new map of Europe. This was a time of change and hopes for peace when old borders began to shift. In 1949, an angry crowd of white Americans protested against a concert by black singer and civil rights activist Paul Robeson. This incident became a vivid example of racial tensions in the United States. Private Dick L. Powell in 1951 shares his lunch with a homeless puppy in Korea, demonstrating how kindness and care can emerge even in the midst of war. Private Richie smells a letter from his girlfriend in Oklahoma, soaked in her perfume, in Vietnam, 1966. This moment shows how far soldiers' thoughts can wander in tough times when they miss home. In 1937, at the Party Congress in Nuremberg, searchlights create the effect of the Cathedral of Light. This spectacle became a symbol of the power of the Third Reich, evoking both admiration and horror in the audience. Soviet automatic riflemen on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle with a machine gun in 1945. These brave fighters fought in Germany, using their equipment for rapid movement and fire support, repelling the enemy's onslaught. The tug-of-war competitions at the Olympic Games in Belgium in 1920 became a symbol of strength and unity. Athletes from all corners of the world gathered to test their skills in this ancient game. In 1912, a station for observing the solar eclipse was established on Mars Field. This event attracted the attention of scientists and astronomy enthusiasts eager to capture a rare natural phenomenon. The builders are constructing the foundation for the Statue of Liberty in New York, 1884. This project became iconic for America, symbolizing the hopes and dreams of millions of immigrants seeking freedom. The crowd enthusiastically welcomes Hitler during his official visit to Italy. This event became a symbol of the growing influence of Nazi Germany in Europe and the ominous signs of future conflicts. The solemn return of the stolen Mona Lisa to the Louvre in France took place in 1914. This event marked an important moment in art history, symbolizing the restoration of cultural heritage after theft. After the fire was extinguished at the University of Geneva in 2008, thousands of books were soaked in water. This photo shows how they are drying, emphasizing the importance of preserving knowledge and culture. In 1917, a German submarine experiences the installation of a torpedo, highlighting the tension and technological advancements of World War I, where every detail could determine the outcome of a battle. Fans gathered the day after the assassination of John Lennon outside his residence in New York City, USA. This event shocked the world and left a deep mark in the hearts of millions who loved his music and personality. A French woman in 1947 observes the remains of ships wrecked during the Allied landings in Normandy, set against the historical backdrop of the tragic events of World War II and their far-reaching consequences. The FBI's data repository in the United States in 1940 contained millions of confidential files, including 112,500 fingerprints and 85,000 volumes of legal documents, highlighting the scale of the agency's work. Four German soldiers surrendered to the Red Army near Moscow. This moment became one of the key events during the Great Patriotic War, demonstrating the bravery of Soviet fighters.